Hi, Bio1. Welcome to your template. I know that you guys haven't gotten grades before, so Paul and I wanted to take a moment to explain the template to you. So let's break it down. The first thing to look at is kind of at the top. This is something that you're going to have access to, and that's why it says student view. And then next to student view, you'll see that there's two grades. And the first grade is the grade that we anticipate you'll get at the end of the semester, and the second grade is the grade that you're getting right now. Generally, the second grade is going to be lower than the grade that we anticipate you're going to get at the end of the semester. All right, so what does this mean exactly? Well, let's say it's halfway through the semester, you're doing an amazing job, and you've done everything well, you've turned all in your assignments in on time. Well, the projected grade at the end of the semester would probably be an A, and the actual grade would probably be something like a C. And that's because there's still half of the semester left. So we want you to know that if you stopped working on that day and the semester continued as planned, you wouldn't actually get the A that you were projected to get. You would get the C that we said you were going to get at that point. All right. The second thing to look at the template is the left side. So if you look at the columns, you'll see that there are three basic categories. There is content, experimental design, and habits. And the reason that's important to know is that each of your grades are going to be averaged within each category. So all your content grades are going to be averaged together, all your experimental design grades are going to be averaged together, and all your habits grades are going to be averaged together. And that's really only important because we want you to know that each of those three things are pretty important. So you can't just do well on content. You have to pay attention to experimental design. You can't just do experimental design. You have to pay attention to habits and so on and so forth. You get the picture. Content. So the content is going to be the stuff that we teach you in class. It's going to be a lot of the information. And we're going to demonstrate or visualize that you know it in one of three different ways. So if we have given you an opportunity to show us that you know something, and you have shown us that you know it, the square on the template will turn green, as you can see right here. If you have been given the opportunity to try something but haven't yet been able to do it, maybe need a little bit more help, the template item will turn yellow or beige or whatever that color is. And if you have been given an opportunity, but let's say you forgot to turn an assignment in, this square will have black text, but will be uncolored. And then the squares that have gray in them just means you haven't had the opportunity to teach that, to be tested on that yet. We haven't had the opportunity to teach it, and you don't need to worry about it. So it won't affect your grade at this point. We will be adding things to this template as the semester goes. As you can see here, there is a spot where it says gene expression with no words filled in. And the reason there's no words filled in is because we're going to explain to you what we're going to put into the template before we put it in. The two kind of other caveats, the things that we want you to know about, are the habits. So right now, the main habits that we're going to be expecting you to follow through on are timeliness. When we ask you to turn something in, you've got to turn it in on time. Specifically, you've got to get it to us before we start grading it. So what happens if you're freaking out, or if you have a lot of tests, or you just freaking forgot? Just tell us. In the freaking forgot case, don't make up an excuse. Just be honest with us. We've been human, and believe it or not, we were in high school once. We have forgotten assignments. We will work with you, as long as it's not a pattern. And if you're freaking out, if you got a ton of other stuff, tell us before you hand in the assignment, or before you don't hand in an assignment, and we will work with you. I'm just going to walk up to you and say, hey, what's the reason? I may not even ask you what the reason is. I may just say, hey, when do you want to turn this in by? And then you'll say 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever it may be. Or if it's like a really, really dire situation, you'll say like a month, and I'll be more inclined to ask at that point what's going on. But most of the time, just say, this is the assignment I can't get in. I think I can get it to you at this time, and we should be good. The next one, the one immediately to the right of that, is group work. Now, you're actually going to be graded on group work, and you're going to be graded by your peers, which is a little new to you. You're going to be graded on several kind of different criteria, but basically it's going to be, did you show up to class prepared to do your group work? Are you participating? And are you leaving space for other people to make sure that they can participate as well? You can actually click a link there to see exactly what those evaluative criteria are, so that you can make sure that when you're going into group work, you're focusing in on those things. And that's about it.